Was good. Was good. Was good. You know who it be. What's poppin'? You know who it be though. Alright? You know who it be. You can read, you can see, you can hear. You know who it is, man. It's your boy on Kool-Aid, bro. We here for a discussion video, and I ain't done one of these in a clean, I almost say month almost. Man, it's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute, but we here today though. All right, we here today though for the young discussion for Silver the Hedgehog to have his own video game. All right, so if you ready, let's just go ahead and get into the discussion. But before I do, you know, I gotta throw in my little stuff real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like that like button. It's appreciated if you like it. All right, subscribe. Comment down below, share the video, follow me on Twitter. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and introduce the topic. I think I already introduced it, but I'm gonna say it again because I don't care. Should Silver the Hedgehog have his own video game? So point number one. First off, I'm gonna make this video between 5 and 10 minutes long. That way it's not dragging on my point, but I can get it clear across. Point number one. Sonic the Hedgehog has his own game. Shadow the Hedgehog has his own game. Silver the Hedgehog is the only one without his own game. Now, you're probably going to be like, wow, really? This is one of your points? But I mean, it is a legitimate point, is that both of them have their own games. Why not Silver? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should he not get his own game? The man was introduced in 2006, and he has not been in like a main series installment or had his own game since then. So, well, I guess unless you count Sonic Generations as a main series installment, but other than that, he hasn't been in his own game like since then, and like he hasn't been in a game really because he's from the future. But that'll be my next point. But yeah, that's point number one, is that Sonic, Shadow, they both have their own games. You know, obviously Shadow the Hedgehog wasn't a well-received game, but it wasn't too trash. You know, it got like a 6 out of 10 rating, 5 out of 10, something like that. It wasn't that bad. It was just repetitive. And then, you know, Sonic has had a plethora of games. So let's give Silver. I mean, I want Silver to have his own. You know, I want Silver to have his own game, Silver the Hedgehog. So that's point number one. Point number two, which is more inclined towards the storyline, which makes more sense, is that what can they really do for Silver at this point, as far as with Sonic and Shadow and all of them? What could they do? Because outside of Sonic 06, they really have no true reason to bring him back from the past, because he's not in the main story timeline. They really couldn't do anything with him. He's in the future, you know, like there's nothing they can do. He's in the future unless they brought him back for literally no reason, because you know in Sonic 06 obviously he had a good motive to come back to the past. Why would he come back now? They've saved the past, present, and future. Why would he come back? Why would he come back at all? So I think that this is a pretty good reason for him to get his own game now. Let's see what he's up to. We ain't seen the man in a good minute. Let's see what the man doing. Let's see what, you know, like what's he doing in the future? You know, obviously without Blaze and whatnot. Although low-key, I wouldn't be mad if y'all brought her back. You know what I'm saying? Like you brought her back from the dead. I'd be kind of happy. But you already know how that go, right? You know how that goes. Or like a prequel game. Actually, I don't want a prequel game. I don't want a prequel game. Now that I think about that, take that back. I don't want it to be a prequel game. I want it to be an after Sonic 06 sort of game. So that's another reason I have. The third reason I have is because Silver the Hedgehog is a very likable character. When he was introduced in 2006, he shot up, bro. Like, you know most characters, like sometimes when new characters are introduced, they're not liked. Well, a lot of people like Silver. I mean, it's no freaking secret, all right? It's no secret that people like Silver. I like Silver. A lot of people like Silver. Some people, Silver is their favorite hedgehog. Silver is my favorite hedgehog. Well, actually, no, they're all tied for me, but I like Silver a lot. That's the point I'm making. First off is his character, you know, his drive and his passion in Sonic 06 to get that W for the future, because they was taking all types of L's, boy. All types of L's. And he wanted to go back in time and get him that W for a change. And he did that. And he came back to the future, and the sky actually showed the sun for once, bro. Like, come on now. Come on. He's like the man, he had the drive to do good, all right? He had the drive to do good. That, and he was a different hedgehog. He's not this, you know, like speedy hedgehog Sonic and Shadow were. Sonic is, you know, the speedy hedgehog. He's the main one. Shadow is basically Sonic, except he's more edgy. Thus, he skates around and he talks more dark. And then you have Silver, who is not fast, believe it or not. And he has psychic powers. Like, you know, the other ones, what are the other two good for? You know, Sonic's just good for running in Super Sonic. Shadow does have chaos control. I'll give him that. He does have chaos control, chaos blast, all the chaos type moves. I'll give him that. But Silver, you know, he brought something different to the table. The man has psychic powers. He could float in the air. He could not float, like float and like fly. He could fly. The man could fly. All right. We had never had a flying hedgehog before then. I think Silver's story, you know, it'd just be curious to see what would happen from there. But if they would, it probably would be a prequel game. That way they would already have an enemy, because you know how Sega is. But hey, who am I? You know what I'm saying? Who am I? Those are the three main reasons I want Silver the Hedgehog. Another reason is because I'd just be curious to see what the storyline would be about. You know, I'm just curious, like, especially if it would be a post-Sonic 06 storyline, I'd be curious. You know, I'd be curious to see what it's about. You know, what is he doing to protect the future, the rebuild of the future? You know what I'm saying? I just think Silver deserves his own game, especially since he was introduced so well liked, and then, you know, they really haven't done anything with him since then. Even though Sonic 06 itself was a bad game, you know, like rating wise, it was a bad game. You know, a lot of people didn't hate Silver. He's still a very likable character, so you can make a good game with Silver in it, and then, you know, bring him back to life. You know, but it's just tough though. It's just tough mainly because he's in the future and things like that. You know, they can't bring him back from the future for no apparent reason. Well, I mean, they can, but it wouldn't make much sense. So, any case, it's Sega. I know you listen. I know you be checking out these videos on the low key. I know you do. So go ahead and if you could, like, you know, maybe think about, you know, going an idea possibly, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't hurt. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got, man, for today's discussion video. If you liked it, hit that like button, bro. Like, you already know, bro. You already know. Hit that like button. It means a lot. Don't forget to subscribe. Answer that QOTD. There is no QOTD. I was thinking LP wise, but just hit that like button, subscribe. You already know. And then get in the comment section and discuss, boy. It's a discussion, so let's have some discussion going on, all right? All right, I'm gone. All right, I'm gone. I'm out. It's no use. I'm gone.